Coach, opening statement on this past weekend for the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, great weekend for the Lumberjacks and SFA overall. Had an awesome homecoming weekend and fun time in the Piney Woods. But really pleased with our guys, the way they stepped up and played a complete game. Kind of got off to a little bit of a slow start, and part of that's, Houston Christian had 2 weeks to prepare, and they came out and did some things totally different defensively than what we were expecting. But I thought, our offensive coaches and defense coaches, for the most part, did a really good job adjusting the game plan, what we had to do to be successful. Defense did a tremendous job keeping us in it there early, and then once we kind of got them figured out, we put the hammer down offensively and had a really just overall complete game. So pleased with that. Defense didn't give up a touchdown, and anytime you do that in a 60-minute ball game against a team that's going to snap it as many times as the Huskies did, that's a good outing for those guys and gives us a chance to be successful. But overall, just very pleased with our players. The way they responded. They had a great week of practice last week, and we knew it would take that and stepped up. Still got a lot of guys, some key guys out with injuries, and guys stepped up, and we didn't skip a beat. So just overall, a tremendous weekend, a fun weekend, homecoming win. So it was a good day in the Piney Woods.
Some accolades from this morning for the Southland. Sam Vidlak, Offensive Player of the Week. Leading the one of the highest scoring offenses in the nation, and then Trayshawn Adams, honorable mention for Special Teams Player of the Week. So talk about those two.
Well, I'm tickled to death we finally got one. It's been week 11, and we hadn't had a Player of the Week yet. So I think our guys have been doing a good job. So it's good to see Sam get some awards and what I'm short on words here, but what is the word I'm looking for? Accolades. It said Angelo State Education. Go Rams. Good to see him get some accolades for what he's done. He has done a tremendous job leading this team, leading this offense, and taking care of the football, and just his leadership's been really, really good. But he's putting up some big numbers as our offense is, but they go the way he goes, and so happy for him. Trayshawn Adams sparked us there. That I thought was a real turning point in the game. Defense held them to a field goal there right before half, and we put together a really good 2-minute drive, scored a touchdown, came back. We had deferred, took the ball 9 plays, scored a touchdown, and then defense held them 3 and out, and punt return for touchdown. That 21-point swing right there just really broke the game wide open. So tickled to death for those two guys and everybody around them that helped make those stats happen.
Let's get the rest of the way going. Media.
Yeah, Coach, we just got to talking about the offense. I actually did the math on my way over here. You guys are scoring about, I think, 38 points per game in conference through the first 5 games of the year. And obviously, new offensive coordinator Chris Ross, it's his first year here calling the offense. Just, with a lot of the newness and then the offense just exploding the way that it has. Was this kind of the expectation, or did you think there was going to be this much of an offensive explosion, or was it just a, little bit of a surprise?
No, we're very, very tickled to death with how things are going, and we were able to get Chris Ross here and assemble this offensive staff together. Knew we had a chance to be much improved, and that they have done that and then some, and part of that too is the players we've added. I think we were much more aggressive in our recruiting, especially with the portal there in May, and so it's put together a pretty good package to go out there and get up and down the field. High tempo. It's a fun offense to play in. It's a fun offense to watch as fans, and it's been very, very productive. And the good thing is, the thing that's kind of promising is there wasn't a single senior in the last 2 weeks that has started or played significant playing time in that offense. So everybody's coming back, and I think you've seen us this season get better each week, and this is, I think still the infancy of this offense. I think in weeks ahead and years ahead, it's going to do nothing but get better. So we're really excited. A lot's gone into it, a lot of hard work, and stressful decisions and time and effort by players, coaches, all the alike. But very pleased so far where they're at. But we've got a challenge in front of us this week. We may not make a first down Saturday because Nicholls' defense is unbelievable. So we'll find out what we're really made of Saturday.
Yeah, well, I'll let you continue. That's a great segue for a preview. For Nicholls, they are great at running the ball, and they are good at stopping the run. I mean, 31st in the nation when it comes to rushing offense, and then second in the nation when it comes to rushing defense. But add a little bit more to your little preview for Nicholls.
Yeah, they are. Tim Rebowe, the head coach there, he's the dean of the Southland Conference. He has turned that place into a perennial, a national contender and national playoff, team, and they were preseason favorites in this conference for a reason, and they looked the part on film. They're 4-2 against FCS competition this year, beating everybody by an average score like 41-6 or something. So I mean, they don't just beat you; they beat you. And so we've got our work cut out for us. You mentioned their rushing defense; they are as physical. This is the best defense we faced all year, and it's not even close. Offensively, they got a big, powerful offensive line, got an All-American tailback, a veteran quarterback, and they are strong running the football. So it will be a very physical battle. They're a well-coached team. They went down and played a team out in the SEC called LSU.
Yeah, know them.
Yeah, the Tigers.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, it was, I think, 23-21 going in the fourth quarter, playing in Death Valley. Mm-hmm. And so that's what we're dealing with. They've got one conference loss, so they're still in the hunt for a conference playoff or conference championship and a playoff spot, and they're playing at home. It's been a decade since the Lumberjacks have won in Thibodaux, Louisiana. So we know we'll be the underdog. We know we got a tough challenge, but I think our guys are excited about it, and we're going to put a good week together and go down there and tee it up and see what happens.
Yeah, Coach, and as we get further along into the season, we're just right at the edge of the final month of the year, which is, first off, crazy to think about.
26 days left, but who's counting?
It's less than a month. But, obviously injuries, depth, and things like that kind of showing as you get later and later into the season. So kind of how are you guys doing injury-wise before this Nicholls game? And, how have you, what has been your overall opinion of the depth that you've seen with guys being out and maybe having younger guys step in?
Yeah. Injury-wise, we're not doing good. We've got some very, very productive players that have not been able to play the last few weeks, and you got a receiver that's averaging 18 yards a catch and one of the top backs in the league. But DBs, we've been decimated there too. But that's what is. Everybody's got injuries. You don't like them. I sure don't like them when they're your very best players. But they happen, and injuries equal opportunities. And that's what was so fun the last couple of weeks is to see guys step up and pick things up, the production and play at a high level. And this team, I mean, I love this team. I love our players, our coaching staff. I mean, it's a unique. We've got a great culture in that locker room, that team room, and just the way they rally around each other and support each other. They're so fun to coach, and that I think really showed this past week just their resiliency to just come together and bounce back. And I think our best football is still ahead of us, no matter who's out there playing on Saturday.
Yeah, Coach, and then, I'm sure you saw it yesterday, Xavier. He scored his first receiving touchdown of his career against the Patriots. Hit the trifecta. He's got a punt return, rushing touchdown, and receiving touchdown. I'm sure you've talked about it a lot. Can you just kind of talk about the player he is, especially being an undrafted guy and putting up these productive numbers for the Jets? Yeah,
he's multi-talented and doing a lot of good for the Jets. He's actually, I think they're using him in their strength training. You saw Aaron Rodgers, doing some overhead press with Xavier Gibson yesterday after that. So I got to see him on Saturday. We talked on FaceTime there before our game, and he was excited about theirs. And he's going to do nothing. He's going to play a long time. He's so fun. He had a couple of big punt returns as well. So it's I don't watch a lot of NFL football just because of our job and the workload that happens Sunday afternoons and evenings, but it's always good to catch up with him and see the success he's having. So he's got an open week here in a few weeks. I have a feeling he may show up back here in the Piney Woods.
Mm-hmm. That's all.
Hey, you spoke about the Nicholls defense, but I mean our defense has been awesome this year too, not allowing a touchdown in the game on Saturday. Just kind of what's the defense's overall mentality heading into a game like Nicholls, stopping the run?
Yeah, they'll be challenged. Our defense has been really good. They could be great, but they're not because we have too many penalties, and we got to clean that up. I mean, that's getting ridiculous. Just they're attacking, but we got to hit the strike zone, and we got to be smarter in terms of it's aggression, and you'd rather be pulling that chain back than getting them going. But we have got to clean up. Again, we're one of the top defenses statistically in the country, and I think we could be number one if we cleaned up the penalties. And so that's going to be a point of emphasis moving forward. But, anytime you go in a game, and I think they averaged about 2 yards a carry this past week, and knew that was their strength. That Houston Christian team had rushed for 414 yards against McNeese. And to see our guys shut them down, that was good to see. And our front seven's playing at a high level right now, and we're going to need that and then some come Saturday, because this will be a physical ball game, and Nicholls knows how to do one thing very, very well, and that's run the football. And they pride themselves on it. They're a well-coached team, well-balanced team, and so it'll be a challenge. But I think if we can have a good week of practice and go down there and tee it up and see what happens, hopefully have a chance, win in the fourth quarter. And that's all you can ask for on the road, playing a team like Nicholls. And if we can do that, then we'll see what happens.
And staying in the trenches talk, the offensive line, young group this year, only had one real returning starter. What are you kind of looking for out of them against Nicholls? And that strong
they'll have their hands completely full. Again, as I said earlier, this is the most physical defense that we will have faced, and I think they're number 2 or number 1 in rushing defense, and they give you absolutely nothing and give you no way to breathe, and they stop the run, force you in some third downs, and then they get really exotic and come at you. And I mean, they get after some folks. They got some really talented players up front in their front seven. The corners are elite, and safety's really good players as well. So we'll be that'll be a matchup there that'll be interesting. We've got to continue to improve in the O-line. I think we've done a really good job with a bunch of new faces. Coach Graff, Coach McFarland, Lumberjack legend. Those guys have done a really good job, with this O-line. I think they've gotten better throughout the year. We've still got to improve. We're not where we need to be in terms of short yardage. You saw us get stuffed on 4th and short again, in 3rd and short, 4th and short. We've got to be better there as players, as coaches, and that's an area we still need to improve. And so we'll be working on that this week as well.
Amanda?
I want to do a fun one, not football related.
Uh-oh.
It's Halloween this week, so what's your favorite Halloween candy?
Oh, candy corn.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
Then
said
you
that.
know.
No, my favorite Halloween candy is get it over with and go get you a big ribeye steak, cooked rare, and red meat, baby. So, no, it's fun. The kids will have a deal for all the kids. We've got a bunch of kids on this staff, and our players enjoy it. Halloween's a lot of fun for everybody. I'm glad it's on a Thursday. I think it's Thursday this week. So the work's kind of been done, and so we can get out of there. Thursday's usually a night you can spend a little bit of time with family and friends, and so we'll do that and have a big time. But favorite candy, I don't eat a lot of candy. I don't know, maybe I don't know. I guess Reese's, Twix. Twix is a good one.
Reese's, good
Yeah.
answer.
Those are usually pretty popular.
So if you stop by Colby Carthel's house on Thursday, you may be able to get a steak, but then the Lumberjacks will be hungry for a
I'm not
win.
handing out ribeye steaks.
You're not
I'm
handing
going
out?
to eat one. No.
You're going to eat one.
You come by my house, you can get nothing because we ain't gonna be there.
Okay, so drop off a steak at Colby Carthel's house on Thursday night, and then the Lumberjacks will take on Nicholls this Saturday at 3 p.m. Coach, thanks for the time.
Appreciate it. Axel.